So what I have here, it is some of the experiments I'm working for my thesis. In this experiment is connecting OSC from processing, sending data to Grasshopper to modify a vase. The idea here is to explore the possibilities of responsive objects and intelligent surfaces that we can possibly have in the future. So I'm going to use Arduino, that is, and processing is receiving data with Arduino. I can probably do this with Firefly, but I don't know how to use Firefly at the moment, so I'm doing it with processing and Arduino using OSC. It's a very simple sketch. You can also, if you don't know how to connect processing and Arduino, you should go to fuctor.org. Matas has done a great job explaining how to connect both open frameworks and processing to Grasshopper. So the basic idea here is that we have a vase that is constructed out of ellipses and circles. It's a very simple vase. This part over here is what you can use to modify the vase with the sliders. This graph here lets you do more subtle changes. And the way why this is tessellated is because I use the paneling tool that Grasshopper has, and I put triangles morphed into the surface. So this without this triangles, what is just a regular vase, round vase, and when you put this over here, then it just becomes tessellated. I did it because it's easier to imagine that this object is moving if we know how to possibly construct it, I guess. But I imagine, and I am going to try to prototype this, if we can construct this out of triangles that have some kind of motor inside, and very simple twist these triangles, it's easier to imagine that we have a very circular, smooth surface. It's kind of impossible to do that if it's not inflated, right? But anyway, so what I'm gonna do here, and so what I'm gonna do here is connect processing with a photoresistor. The Arduino has a photoresistor for now. One of my ideas is that this is a vase that is responsive to the environment, and the response that I would want it to have, or the sensor that I would want it to have, is more of a microphone, and this vase responding to the sound of the space. But for now I have it with a photoresistor just to get some quick values. So I just connected Arduino. Oops, I have a problem here with the Arduino sketch. It shouldn't be a big problem because it was working before. I usually always change the port over here because it gets confused. So I give it a new port every time I do it. It's kind of like a refreshing for the OSC port. I also map the values depending on what you want to do and what type of value you want to give it, the sensor. So for example, what I'm going to modify here is the shuffling engine for the jitter. The jitter, what it does, it just creates kind of like a random value, but smoother than random, or not smoother, but like more differentiated and more like contained. Hope that doesn't confuse you. But the main idea is that I'm gonna use OSC. It's gonna come to the jitter. It's gonna modify the engine variations, and if I connect this to here, basically what it does, and if I use this slider, basically what it does is this type of movement. So it's like a lot of variations. You can twist it. You can have fun with it. So my idea here is for now just connecting the jitter, because it gives us more variation and we can see better what it's doing. So let's go ahead and run the program so we can start reading some values that are mapped from 2 to 10. That's what I meant to say before, because the values, if they go crazy, the jitter just goes crazy. But then what I'm doing now is, like if you see here, this is the value of the photoresistor, and what I'm doing now is, well, just modifying, putting some light to it. It goes down, and if we put it down and it goes to 10, then it just starts varying. So I hope you see what I see. I see a lot of excitement here. Objects, if we have these already in Rhino, these objects could probably exist in the future, objects that react to the environment. They probably don't have to go as crazy as these vase, but over time, they can have certain variations that express time, for example. So they are, one of the things that I could imagine is that they are, they're small during the day and they become bigger with light during the night. Yeah, this thing is going crazy. I'm gonna disconnect it. But yeah, the idea is this. I'm gonna post this on my blog, of course, and then if you have questions, just email me. It will be easier to answer. This is not meant to be a tutorial, but it's meant to be like to show what it can be possible to do or can do. Thanks.